Hello there, and welcome to another video of The Shield Doing a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we have episode 3 of the series, Is It That Bad? And today we're going to talk about a band that, it's cool to shit on this band. It's Nickelback, and with the album No Fixed Address that came back way back in the year of 2014, so it seems like a long time ago. And this was JC Rock and Metal's pick, so we're gonna start with him. So, JC, what was your first impression when you listened to this back in 2014?
Okay, so this one I don't think I think I listened to it like a little later, maybe a couple years, but I was actually revisiting all the Nickelback albums recently because the new one came out. I was thinking of doing a ranking, so I decided to just like go through a couple of the albums, and I get to this one, and I didn't really remember it that much, but it's just like really bad. It's just like a lot of pop, a lot of dance rock. I mean, the lyrics are really bad. There's rap on it, and I think that's why I decided. I think this will be a good album to talk about in this series because it's just. I mean, when you talk about bands selling out, I mean, like they like really went too far. I mean, they were just trying to like just do whatever to get on the radio because whatever was popular on pop radio in 2014. I mean, I think they just changed their sound too much. I mean, there's not really that much like rock on here. I think like the first two songs are a little heavier, but I'll talk about those. But even like even the first two songs, they kind of sound a little more like Disturbed. Like they're doing anything to try to fit in. I think with this album, and it just became really bad. So that was that was my I picked this for the worst Nickelback album. I know they have lots of albums, and we probably could have picked any of them, but I think this is the worst one. So
Yeah, I think so. And when your when you're named Shad, that's like who would name their kid Shad? They just made him lose from the beginning of his life, giving him that crappy name. So I'm sorry if anyone's named Shad. I'm sorry if I offended you, but that name sucks. So yeah. So Tom, did you just listen to this last week?
Yeah. I hope you don't have any subscribers called Chad, Hector. They're all gone now. They're all your
They'll be like,
Chads.
damn you! How dare you insult Chad?
So yeah, I mean, I own one Nickelback album, and it's this one. Very
Me too.
popular. Good
yeah,
album.
I had that one too. Actually, yeah,
I think it's a good album.
That's a good album.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like that one. Yeah.
It has How You Remind Me on it, which is I'm a bit tired of that song, but good, pretty solid album. And that's the only Nickelback album I knew before going to this one. And I know they've had quite a few albums now, so I was thinking I possibly needed to explore more of their discography to have an idea of how they reached this point. This No Fixed Address album, because it's this was not it's definitely not an album for me by any stretch of the imagination. I think it has this over processed kind of sound, this modern dance pop style, which it's the kind of with some songs, the kind of song you hear when you go out, remind me of when I maybe go out clubbing or something. It's just like there are songs on here that I just really detest. I really loathe the style and the sound. And when we go into the worst songs, I'll try to elaborate on the particular songs that I really hated on here. There are probably fans of this album out there. I think there definitely are, because when I was watching or listening to the album back on YouTube, there were quite a few comments with love for this album, and I couldn't really relate to the love at all. I was like, why are you loving this album so much? I just don't understand. For me, the biggest problem with this album, right, is it's soulless. It's like there's no heart and soul in it. It's like so middle of the road. There's just no soul whatsoever in this album. It is, I don't think even Even the devil wouldn't enjoy this album, I don't think. It's just totally solid. And so, you know, I honestly didn't. It's kind of slushy, it's syrupy in the choruses a lot of the time. I did like JC mentions the first track, I think was the track I actually kind of enjoyed. It was a little bit more straight up heavy, nothing special, but a bit more listenable than a lot of the rest of this album, which was I struggled to listen to this one more than once. So I wanted to give it a chance, but it was hard to give it much of a chance.
Yeah, I love it because we get Tom to be like we get him out of his properness, and he's like, I'm pissed at this album. So yeah, for me, you know, when this came out, I remember I used to write in a blog called Section 10 in Puerto Rico. And the guy who ran that blog, he loved Nickelback. I don't know why. And he's like, you got to review this album. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord, why? I used to call them nickel crap. And I remember I owned that other album, and that was a decent album. But after that, Nickelback to me fell off the planet. I didn't care for them. And I think I listened to that album, and I think I reviewed it for that blog, and I wasn't nice back then. And revisiting this album again, I think I'm not gonna be nice now. So you know that when I was listening to this album, this is the soundtrack that two cousins would listen to while they're having sex in the back of a Wendy's. Yeah, this is the soundtrack for that. You know. Now I'm gonna get the cousins like, how dare you like say bad things about cousins? You know, it's syrupy. It's like, you know, Nickelback. To me, they're a band that's always tried so hard. Come on, the dude married Avril Lavigne, like like you were trying to. That was a strange marriage. That would be another video, like two strange people like hooking up. But yeah, the sound of this album is syrupy, it's stupid, it's cringy lyrics. And yeah, I think like the first song, it was okay. It's nothing like I said, like, oh my God, Nickelback has wrote the best song ever. But yeah, I struggled to listen to this album. I just wanted like to have it physically in front of me so I could tear it apart. But yeah, I never owned this album. So yeah, those were my initial thoughts. I hadn't listened to this since it came out in 2014. And when JC said, let's Nickelback, and he named that one, the first thing I thought of, like, yeah, I thought that was really bad when it came out. So yeah, I'll give it another chance. So I did. So yeah, those were my impressions. So now let's go back to JC and name the 3 worst songs for him.
Okay. So the 3 worst ones, I would say the tracks number 3 and 4. So it would be What Are You Waiting For? That's just like pop music. It's all just electronic. It just really doesn't sound anything like Nickelback. It's just like this pop music. And the one right afterwards, She Keeps Me Up. That one, it's like disco. They're trying to do something like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think that's the one in the music video where like Chad Kroger's like wearing his suit and he's like dancing in like this like nightclub. I think that's a song. It's just like really bad. It's just like nothing. It doesn't sound anything like rock or anything like that they've done. It's just like they're just trying to capture some kind of audience that was never there before. And my third one, I'm gonna go with Get 'Em Up. Just because the lyrics, they're talking about like going out and robbing a bank. It's just so these lyrics are just so cheesy. I mean, the song, I thought like maybe it's that they're trying to do like a southern rock thing, but just the lyrics were so bad on that one. Get 'Em Up. So those were my 3. I could have picked a lot more. I think the only songs that I liked maybe a little would be like the first one, Million Miles an Hour. That's kind of like a rocking. That's the one that sounds a little more like Disturbed. They're talking about doing like drugs and like tripping on acid or something like that. And the last song, Sister Sin, that one was actually okay. It's like Southern rock, but everything in the middle is just really bad. So those are my three. Those are my picks. Yeah.
Nice. So
Yeah.
what about you, Tom? Don't hold back.
No, no, I won't. Yeah, I mean, mine were. I think "What Are You Waiting For" was one JC Rocker Metal review said, and that was horrible. Just that chorus, it just has that sound that I was talking about, modern pop kind of sound that it's just predictable as well. I think you can predict something. There's something about that style of song I've heard so many times. You just can predict exactly how the song is going to go. And if I had to choose a really generic song that sounds exactly like every other song from this kind of era, I might say, well, Nickelback, What Are You Waiting For? I was waiting for the song to finish. And you think about what is it from what he says in This Is How You Remind Me, How You Remind Me. There's a lyric in that, are we having fun yet? Yet, no, no. And for me, that sums up this album. Are we having fun yet? Yet, no, no. I'm not having fun at all. And Satellite, I didn't really like much. I can't really remember why. I just didn't enjoy it. And Miss You was the other pick, which had a really, really, I mean, it's in my head. I can't get it out of my head. I'm worried I'm going to have a sleepless night with this stuck in my head, that kind of, I miss you so, dude, constantly going round and round in my head. Just awful.
Yeah, that could be one of the worst breakup songs ever. Like, just so bad. Did you already picked your free songs, right? Yeah, you said free. I'm like, I lost count of how
It was
many
over
bad
too
songs.
quick, probably, because I'm
You're like, oh,
traumatized by
yeah.
that.
So yeah, so no fixed address. I'm gonna talk about "Got Me Running Round" with Flo Rida. And Flo Rida is a very bad rapper. And this song is just like, it's like country mixed with some of it sounds like early 2000s, like rap, like Master P shit. And it's just so bad. It's really like, it's they're trying too hard to be hip. And when your
Yeah.
name's Shad and you're in Nickelback, it's really hard to be hip. So yeah, that song to me was terrible. I think the song "What Are You Waiting For?" again, that's another track that I thought the same. That it was just an awful song. That it had nothing to it, too much dance beat to it, like really generic. And "She Keeps Me Up" is my third choice, and that one is like. They were trying to do like a AC/DC. You shook me all night long, but you take away the rock, you take away the metal, and it's just a really generic and bad song. So all around, three horrible songs. There's more bad songs, but I think those three uh, come to mind. So now we're gonna go to the third and final round, and we're gonna vote on what we thought about the album. So JC, your vote on your pick.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's I mean, it just I don't know what else to say that we haven't said already in this video, because it's just really bad. They were trying too hard to fit into pop music. They just wanted to put out an album that's just going to be accepted by like everybody, and they're not like the band anymore. They're just like trying to put it out an album that is just like so commercial, just so like with the times. And that's why it just like doesn't work. I mean, it's all over the place. They tried to put like the heavy song, then they tried to put like the country song, but even those ones weren't even good ones. And then the ballads, they were just the ones that you guys talked about, Satellite and Miss You. They're just like not really good ballads. I mean, they've had other good songs in the past. So I say yes, this is a really bad album. So
Well, Tom, I think we all know what your vote is, but
Well, like there was a pause, and then JC said it's bad. I thought that was good. That's kind of, I couldn't see that coming either. I mean, the one thing I'll say is that I do want to give Nickelback more of a try, because I've only heard Silver Side Up and then this, and two very different albums. And I do feel like they're the sort of whipping boy of the metal elitist. You know, they're the first band a metalhead will say, "Oh, Nickelback, they're terrible." But this album does not help their cause. It serves to justify the metal elitists, going, "Oh, Nickelback are terrible." I mean, if you play No Fixed Address, then you're only gonna, give the metalhead elitists more ammunition to say Nickelback are pretty bad. So my answer is going to be it's a thumbs down for this one for sure. I actually think now looking back at when I was listening to St. Anger, I was like, I think I might go back to St. Anger after listening to this. So there you go.
I would agree. So yeah, my vote for this, I gotta be honest. I'm I'm not a metal elitist, but I've been shitting on this band for years. I call them nickel crap, and every time they put out a new album, and it shows up on my Spotify, like, hey, you should listen to this. I'm like, I don't think so, Spotify. So I haven't listened to the new album, and I saw JC Rock and Metal review, and you know what, JC, you didn't won me over. I'm not gonna listen to it either. But yeah, I went back to No Fixed Address, and this album is just it's so easy for them to be a punching bag, because when you put out this kind of shit out into the world, you deserve to be slapped, because this album has terrible lyrics, terrible music. Like they're trying too hard. It's like that old guy that comes with, all hip, like, hey kids, what's popping? Like he's trying to be cool, like, please accept me, accept Nickelback into your life. No, I'm sorry, Chad. I'm not gonna drink of your Nickelback juice anymore. To me, this is an atrocious album. I think out of the 3 albums we talk about, because we talk Kid Rock, Metallica, Saint Anger, and now Nickelback, this one is the worst of the 3. Like even Kid Rock's album, that's bad. At least I like some songs on there, but on this one, I just think this is atrocious. This is the sound. There's some auto tune on it, and I don't like country music. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm from Puerto Rico. Like, I don't listen to country music, and it's just a bad album. So there you go, unanimous vote. Nickelback's No Fixed Address is pure shit. So if you like this series, let us know which albums, go in the comment, which albums would you like us to talk about on future videos. For now, this is the last video for now of this series, because I'm gonna move to Puerto Rico. So sometime in the next year, we're gonna pick back again. And our 4th video for this will be Tom the Green Man's pick. So he'll make us listen to an album, because and Tom, you need to choose something really special, because I blame JC for making us listen to this. So yeah, if you please subscribe to Tom the Green Man's channel. He's got great content on his channel, and he also does sci-fi and books. And there's JC with his cat, and you can subscribe to his channel too. Like, hey cat, get out of the way. You can subscribe to his channel too, because he does like great. Even the cat doesn't like the album. You can subscribe to his channel. He does great rankings, great videos, and please let us know in the comments what you think about this album, and give us suggestions, because I think this series has potential, because it's like really great fun to listen to this album and having to judge them harshly. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield on a Couch, and we'll see you on another episode of Is It That Bad? Thank you, and good night.